Welcome back to Half A Hot Rods. If you've never been here before, I'm just a regular guy who doesn't have the big budget, doesn't have the time, doesn't have the skills, and doesn't have all the right tools to do the job, but we're still showing that you can do it if you're willing to figure it out and still have a good time with these old cars and trucks. This square body behind me is my son's truck, and Wyatt's going to take over really pretty much all the work this week, and he's going to show us how to slam this thing on the ground for very little money with C-notch and spindles in the front. So stick around, here we go.
Alright, so me and Ricardo have been out here the past couple of nights working on my pickup. I decided I wanted to go lower after doing the rear end swap and looking at how it looks sitting on the ground. So to do that, I decided I'm going with a flip kit and a C-notch. We already have the flip kit installed, which we didn't get any video of because we were trying to get it done. C-notch is most of the way in. All I got to do is finish welding it out, but it's already cut and tacked in. Didn't really run into any issues. I mean, really no major issues besides the cheap Amazon flip kit needed some modification. But other than that, everything that we've had to pull apart has been apart at least once or twice before. So we're not fighting any stuck bolts or anything like that. But that metal is cold, so I'm going to fire up the heater, preheat everything with a torch, and then start welding on it. Alright, so we didn't realize that the battery died on the camera, but I don't know exactly when it died, but we just finished. Got all the C-notch fully welded in. So now I'm going to clean off the rear axle because it's been getting stuff thrown on it all for the past week. Clean up my welds, hit it with a little bit of spray paint. Put wheels and tires back on, put shocks back on, set it on the ground, move the truck back, and then we'll start working on the front end. Hoping to get it all done because we're probably, from the little bit of research and looking I've done, I'm probably going to have to shorten the drive shaft because if I had the stock trans I would not need to, but the tail shaft of the 5-speed that I put in there is just a little bit longer. So between that and the lowering kit, I'm going to be hitting into the tail shaft bottoming out. And we don't even have any of those extra bolts. Oh, it's a ghost! And hit it really hard so it pops out. No bueno, Jamal. No bueno.
What dummy thought that would work?
Ta-da!
Yeah. Good Lord.
4 years later.
Don't worry about those noises, it's just the lovely sounds of a cut spring settling into place. So I figured out you can do a really cool party trick if you go get tires put on, or changed or patched or something like that, because the guys at the tire shop, they jack it up from the center and let the wheels dangle. Yeah, one day, in a far, far galaxy long, long away.
What?
In a far, far galaxy long, long away.
That's not how that works.
Did that fix my issue? They had the truck jacked up doing tires. Shite. Had the truck jacked up doing tires. And they set it back down. Nope. And they gave me a real weird look when I pushed down on the hood as hard as I could, and they heard a big pop. What about meow? Meow? No.
I'm sorry, are you saying meow?
Why couldn't it just work the way it was designed to? That'd be silly. Try something. Probably not gonna work. I'm gonna try it. Ah, it's working. I think. Yes. Okay. But I need to go to town and get cotter pins because I don't have any, and I don't know if Dad wants me taking into his. I need to get cotter pins, and then also turn that off. Back around that shaft there, in the brake dust shield, there's a little piece of rubber. It looked like a seal. I may as well replace it while I'm in here if I could find it. If not, then I didn't see it. But that is a problem for future me. And that guy is kind of a jerk, so I'm also going to look for, see if we have grease. Because the old hub has grease, but I want to put a little bit on the spindle just to be safe. Ow. Come on. I don't know if he has any. Yeah. I'm gonna run to town. Alright. Back from town. I got... Here it goes. I got some goodies. Couldn't find any grease, so I got a tub of grease just to put a little bit on the spindle before I put it on. Even though the old bearings still have grease in them, I want to put at least some fresh on there so I can say I gave it a shot. I got 2 inner wheel seals just to be safe. I haven't examined them yet, but it was something I thought of while I was already at the parts store. Worst case scenario, I don't need them, I can take them back. And then I got all brand new cotter pins, so I don't use all of Dad's. So we're going to set that up, maybe where you can see. And then cotter pin. I thought I had pliers over here. If you can't find something you knew you had, look in the direction you probably threw it. Are you going to work now? Yes. Tighten this down. Now that's in there. Cotter pin goes in. Then, if it wasn't cold in Texas, but oh wait, it doesn't get cold in Texas. It's never cold in Texas. Put that like there. Put this one. That was almost a smashed finger. Good enough for who it's for. And I can say that because it's for me. Let's put in here. In a perfect world. And to keep front bearings in there while I'm working on it, put this dust cap on. Okay. And actually, I don't think I need to replace that wheel seal. It still looks pretty good. Actually, doing this, you want to have rubber gloves to put new grease on, just basically anything, because it just makes it easier. But I looked in 2 spots and didn't find them, so we're just going to assume we don't have it. Now we take this and just slide it up on there. Then you take a screwdriver, pop this loose again. Exactly what I was wanting to watch for. Sounds like Ricardo's back. Okay, that goes in there. Then just wipe that there. You get your washer. This washer's got a little tab on the inside. Slides into the keyway. Can I give you a cream pie? What? Can I give you a cream pie? Sure. I would assume. I think this is outside. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
that's
outside. But you could also tell by the
Yeah, 'cause
ring.
that's where the deal was sitting.
Motherfucking gabagool.
Now this is gonna be fun. Gotta stretch out the brake line more than I think you should have to get that out.
Fight's on!
How in the is this supposed to work?
Okay, where we left off, I was getting a little angry because the caliper wasn't lining up like it should have been. And after fighting with it, I found out that where it goes from a hard to a rubber line on the brake line, it was hitting the top of my spindle, where you can kind of see it right there. Should probably hold the camera straight. So right about there is where it sat stock. Starting to think I didn't get that other spring set in right. I sure as shit didn't. Yeah, that spring is not sitting in the front.
Because there's a little, like there's a pocket that the end of the spring is supposed to set in.
Yeah.
And even the end of it has a lower spot than the rest of it. You might be able to feel where that's supposed to be from the underside. And then look at the spring through the top maybe.
Yeah, I see where it needs to go, I just don't know how to do that because it's not wanting to move.
Yeah. You may end up having to take the pressure off it. Take the top or the bottom loose.
Alright, so we got air lines for the air shocks routed. Getting ready to pick the bed up to set it back on the truck. And Ricardo seems to think he's going to be able to scoot the rear end of the truck over.
Oh, Hercules, 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 Hercules.
Go for it. You're not far.
I'm about to shit myself. Yeah, no.
You're unloading the suspension at least. That thing looks so damn mean. Ah! America! Hello, America!
Okay, it's all done. You've driven it a little bit. How is it to drive?
Drives like a lowered truck.
And what do you mean by that?
The front tires ended up rubbing worse than I thought they were going to. So I pulled inner wheel tubs out because it would compress suspension and jerk the wheel.
Oh?
Pulled those out. Went and got new shocks for the front, hoping that would help. It didn't. Because even though there's still no wheel tubs, it still hits inner fender pretty good.
Okay.
So now we have to roll fenders.
Alright, well, we'll figure that out.
Or go with a smaller tire, but all the common smaller tire sizes are 180 to 200 a tire.
Yeah. These look good on there.
And I have a full set in the shop that are new.
Yeah. Before the camera turned on with the notch and stuff, was there anything about that that was a real challenge? You just lay it up against it and mark it out and cut it?
Well, so I watched a video on how to do it, or actually I read a forum on how to do it. I found a forum where a kid had to do an instructional essay for a school project. So he did it on how to properly install a C-notch on an old C10. And the hardest part was you had to take all the suspension loose, jack up the rear end, and I'll take it right out of your hand.
Dummy.
You'd jack up the rear end with the suspension loose to 2 inches below the frame rail. Measure center from your axle tube. You jacked up the rear end 2 inches below your frame rail. Made a mark from center of your axle tube to on the frame. And that was your center point. I made a template out of a piece of cardboard, and then I think I laid it up there. The first side I made like probably 10 marks. So I was trying to figure out, because the first spot I laid it, if I would have cut it there, then the notch would have been way too high and I would have cut out way more frame than I was supposed to. But I think on like the 8th or 9th try we finally got the marks right, and then just cut it out.
How many tries did it take you on the second one?
One.
Okay. Got it figured out.
Yeah.
Alright.
Just cut the frame with a death wheel and a grinder.
What about the front? Any big issues there other than the ones we covered in the video already?
No.
No.
Not that I know of.
Just fought you a little bit.
Everything on the front end fought.
Yeah. Which is weird because you've had it apart before. But it is what it is.
The biggest fight on the front was the brake lines.
Yeah.
Because I had a moment of panic. I was like, oh great, none of this is working. And then I went in and found out that old forums that are 10 plus years old are more helpful than YouTube.
Sometimes, yeah.
Most of the time. And I just searched up C10 brake lines not fitting spindle. And the first thing that popped up was a forum that said, yeah, just get it up there the best you can, take a flathead screwdriver and bend it down.
Just stop before you kink it.
Yeah, that's what they all said. Don't go too far.
You'll kink it. Huh. Alright. So what's next for it?
Chasing more oil leaks. Now we're back to drivability, because I got the drop done, drove it for 3 days, and it's been parked ever since.
How come?
It's not spraying oil at high RPM anymore, but wherever it was spraying oil from is now weak enough that daily driving it drips out probably. If I drive for 2 days back and forth to work or back and forth to school, it drips out about a quart and a half.
Huh. Okay.
Just a nice little puddle.
Yeah, that's quite a bit.
And I don't know if it's rear main finally gave out, or if its oil pan gasket wasn't properly installed. Hoping it's oil pan, because I already have a one-piece rubber gasket to put in.
Yeah.
Just a matter of
Pulling the pan again.
pulling the pan again. And I was thinking, well, I'll just wait till it needs an oil change, but can't drive it long enough.
Knock it off, you two. That wasn't very nice.
No regrets.
Dipstick just bit Hubcap's nose. Just his whole mouth on his nose. Anyway.
Now the battery's probably dead, too.
Because it's been sitting for over a week.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, we'll chase down some oil leaks. That doesn't sound very exciting, but part of the deal.
I'm going to get the new oil pan gasket on, and I'm sure I'm going to find that the rear main just gave the rest of the way out.
Well, that could be.
But it's still cheaper to slide the trans back and do a rear main seal than rebuild a 350.
Yeah, which is what's coming eventually, probably, maybe. Unless you find a 4BT.
If I win the lottery,
Okay.
well, hell, if I win the lottery, I won't still be driving this. We're driving a crew cab long bed
Ah,
on the ground.
you wouldn't shorten it?
No. In fact, I'll find one that someone previously shortened. Stretch it.
How much do you have in this lowering kit?
Flip kit was $30, which all I ended up using was the, I guess you'd call them buckets that the axle sits on top of the leaf spring, which I had to modify.
The leaf spring mounts.
Yeah. But the U-bolts, hardware, and leaf spring plates didn't use because they wouldn't fit for some reason.
Oh,
Don't know why.
you reused old stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's just sitting on it.
Yeah.
And then the fronts, I think, 160 for the spindles.
Okay, so that's 190. And then you had to have your drive shaft shortened because of your transmission being different. How much was that?
Was going to be about 140 to 200, and he called me and basically told me that the drive shaft, or the transmission side of the drive shaft, the U-joint had gone out a while ago, and I kept driving it, and he said it destroyed the pinion. So I spent $113 on a new pinion, which brought the total up to just shy of $300.
For the drive line?
Yeah.
Which, usually with that
alone.
with that lowering job, you wouldn't need a drive shaft. It's because we did the 5-speed. Yeah.
The 5-speed's longer.
So it could have been under $200 on the ground if it was stock, but it ended up being close to $5 because of the modifications and additional problems you found. Do you have to slurp while we're filming? You filthy pig. He's got no manners. Alright, well, as always, we appreciate you watching. If you like what we're doing, give us a thumbs up. Stick around, subscribe, check out some of the other videos, see how I did the 5-speed swap on this. And come back and see us for 57 Chevy content, 54 Bel Air. There's a lot of stuff coming down the road. And as always, remember, if he can do it,
Alright, you can do it.
close enough. See you next time.